Python matplotlib library. Matplotlib is a comprehensive Python library that plots data in order to create 2D visualizations. Matplotlib is the last library we'll discuss, although there are many more Python libraries available to incorporate into programs. This library can work with any of the previously discussed math, SciPy, or NumPy libraries and is a great way to gather large datasets together to create a visual output. pyplot is a commonly used subpackage of matplotlib and provides a Python version of a MATLAB interface. You will learn more about interfaces in a later lesson. pyplot can be utilized to access graphs like line plots, histograms, scatter plots, polar, etc. Let's write a program that creates a line graph. As with every library, let's import mathlib.pyplot in order to access the pre-written methods we will use. Import matplotlib.pyplot as MPL. Since the name is so long, this is a great time to assign an alias such as MPL. Another commonly used alias for this library is PLT. The method plot in the matplotlib library allows us to plot points. Using dot notation and our alias, we can call the plot method by adding the following statement into our code. mpl.plot, we have parentheses and square brackets, 1, 2, 3, 4, all separated by commas. What looks familiar about this new piece of code? We are using the same square brackets to enclose data like we do when we store it in lists and arrays. Now that we created the plot for the data, we need to have a way to view it. The method savefig will save the plotted data to a file of our choosing. For our program, let's save the plot as an image in plot.png. mpl.savefig, parentheses, in quotes we have plot.png. Try to run your code. The plot.png file that we created in our code should appear after running the code. After selecting the plot.png file, you should see a line graph like the one shown below. Remember that we plotted the data 1, 2, 3, 4. If you only supply the plot method with one list of data, it will assume that it is a set of y values and automatically assign the x values. This is why the y-axis starts at 1 and ends at 4, while the values on the x-axis have intervals of 0.5 and do not match any values in our list. Modify the code to provide plot with two lists of data as shown below. So here we have a second list separated with a comma. Run the code and view the plot.png file to see how the graph has changed. By adding the second list, plot has two dimensions defined. It will read the first list as the x values and the second list as the y values. Matplotlib contains methods that can label the axes, so let's do that next. Use the methods xLabel and yLabel in your program and run it to see the results. You can use whatever label you would like. Here we chose x-axis and y-axis. When you view the plot.png file, you will see the labeling on each axis. We can also adjust the window of our graph if we wanted to. The matplotlib library's method called axis allows the user to define minimum and maximum values for the axes. So here we have the axis method. The first slot is the minimum on the x-axis, then we have the maximum, the y minimum, and the y maximum. What if we wanted to use another symbol to represent the points on our graph and not a continuous line? What about different colors? The matplotlib library has many colors and shapes that can be used to represent data on a graph. The command is a small add-on to the end of the plot function. The abbreviations below are paired together in quotes depending on what is desired. So here's different colors, and here are different markers. Let's modify plot so that the data is graphed using red circles instead of a blue line. So here, as the third argument into the plot function, in quotes we have RO. R for red, O for a circle. Now, instead of the blue connected line, we have red circles marking our data points. By default, Python will create a solid blue line if no color or marker is specified.